Okay. Yeah. So let's start. Let me introduce myself to the ones who don't know me. I am Dr. Disha Sanghvi. I am an occupational therapist and with majors in developmental disabilities. I've been working with pediatric population since last 6 years, and I am the founder of the OT clinic at Vilepale East. Today I've got this amazing opportunity to invite a special guest over the states. She is Mrs. Swathee Elamon. She's from Kerala and a mother of two. So let me just add her in our life and then I will introduce her. Hi Swathi.
Hi, Disha.
Hi, how are you?
Yeah, I'm good. Is it audible? Am I audible?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay. Yeah, good.
Yeah, so let me just introduce you to our viewers.
Yeah,
She
sure.
is Swati. She is a speech language pathologist. She did her master's from All India Institute of Speech and Hearing, Mysore, and she's quite senior in this field and has a working experience of 10 years. She's a mother of two, and I'm so glad to have you on my page and to collaborate with you, Swati. So welcome
Same
on our
here.
live at the OT clinic.
Thank you so much. I know it's always a delight to talk and, to work with an occupational therapist. I have personally worked with quite a few, and it is such wonders which happen when, both of us, both of our fields collaborate. So thank you so
Correct.
much for having me in your page. It's my pleasure.
Yeah, so let's get started. And
Yeah.
so our topic for today is language and socialization. And people
Right.
must have perceived it in different ways, right? And we
Yeah.
all know how socializing and social skills are important for us. Like we
Yeah.
humans are social being, and that is how we are different from monkeys, right? So,
Yeah.
so can you just elaborate on what is the importance of language and its
Yeah.
implications in social skills, socializing, right from the development of the childhood?
Yeah, exactly. As you said, what makes us different from the rest of the species which you see in the planet. Now, humans are the only species that can, work with cooperation and flexibility in such a huge number. Like even though you see like birds in thousands and and so many numbers migrating from one country to another country during a certain particular period, there is no much flexibility there. It's fixed. Their routine is fixed. But if you call like 1,000 people or 2,000 people, all strangers, if you call them and you ask them, see, we have to build a shopping mall by the end of 5 months, you will be paid so and so by the end of the month. Even though all 500 or 1,000 of them are strangers, they'll come together in cooperation and they'll work towards it with flexibility. Okay, so
Right.
that is what humans have and the other species don't. Now, this particular
Correct.
feature is possible only because of language and socialization.
Correct.
And socialization is something which we need so much that for a healthy mind and healthy body, as we evolve, as we grow from a child to an adult,
Hmm.
everything which we have conquered right from the time humans evolved, everything which we see right now was a byproduct or end product of socializing. So,
Correct.
there are socializing and language are that important. It is the most unique thing which makes us different from the rest of the species.
Perfect. Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, can you just tell us how the language develops from the childhood as like from a child up to the adult? How do we evolve, and how does our social
Yeah.
skills evolve basically?
Yeah. So then we have got milestones, right? At the age of so and so, the child is expected to do so and so. This is there for your motor movements. This is for almost all the domains of development, and it is the same with language also. The moment the child comes to the world, after the child is born, the child starts off with a birth cry. So even though the birth cry has got a very biological role, like for the lungs to expand and the blood to flow and all,
Hmm.
it is also a signal the child is giving out to the world that yes, I am out of the womb. So from there
Correct.
start the language development. By the age of 1 month or two, by around 2 to 3 months, the child starts making a lot of cooing sounds. Cooing sounds are basically variations of vowels like ah, ooh, ee. They like to play with their lips. They make brr sounds and all. And that evolved like from around 6 to 8 months. A lot of consonants come into the picture. From vowels, it starts off with ba ba ba, ga ga ga, pa pa pa. Those type of consonants come into the picture. At the same time, there is something called differential cry, because a child mostly only cries till the age of 1 year. So a parent can make out why is the child crying. Is it for food? Is it because the nappy is wet? Is it because of some other colic pain or some other discomfort? So this is called differential cry. That evolves. Now, almost around, and even our the changes in our tone, the emotional tone, like if the child is about to suck the thumb, when the child is going to engage in thumb sucking, you say no, and the child starts picking that emotion. And when you cuddle the child, you like, who's mama's princess or something, the variation in tone child starts picking. So by the end of the first when the child is around 1 year of age, you can expect the first word, which is usually something related to ma, amma. It is mostly across Indian languages, mother is always something related with ma, so it usually starts off like that. So by the age of 1, the first word is expected. And from the age of 1 to the age of 2, there is a lot of growth in the receptive vocabulary. Receptive vocabulary is the words you understand. You needn't express them, but the words you understand, there is a spurt there. And also in the receptive vocabulary, a lot of cause-effect relationships work out during this period. The child, maybe the father takes the car key, the child says brr, father is going out. Or the mother brings, the mother goes to the kitchen, the child is like bika for biscuit or something like that. They start relating objects to the object and the phoneme, those relations happen. Okay, so by 2 years the child starts stringing up 2 words. The child might only have a very small vocabulary of 4 or 5 words. Mama will be 1, bika will be 2, meaning another word. But by the age of 2 years, they'll start mama bika. So they are asking for it. They have stringed 2 words together to form a small phrase.
Meaningful
And
sentence,
from 2, yeah, correct. And from 2 to 3, a lot of questions, curiosity, and all this happens from 2 to 3. They start asking you questions in their own way. All the WH questions, not all of them, at least what, where, when, and all happens then, and why and how come later. So a lot of questioning happens during this period. And by the end of 3 years, they'll start stringing 3 words. I want bika, give me this, 3 word phrases. And that is how this progress. Now, by around 6-7 years, they would have acquired their syntax. Syntax is the grammar which you learn, how to use tenses, plurals, comparatives, all those they'll acquire by the age of around 5 to 6 years. This will be complete. Now, apart from this language skills, there are separate developmental pattern for socialization also. Like the social smile starts as the child is around 6, start smiling at your face. A lot of non-verbal communication happens during this period. Play happens during this period. I think you are a better person to talk more about play.
Right. So as you said, the child evolves from non-verbal initially to verbal, and then understanding the pragmatic parts of the language and actually using language for communication. So play, as you said, something which all these development can be picked up very well by observing the play of the child, right? So so during childhood, play is the job, right? Is their job.
Exactly.
So earlier it is the me-driven play, which moves on to the we-driven play. So the preschool years is where a lot of social learning is happening, and the social brain building skills we can assess by observing the play. So normally during this year, when the kids come to us, and we assess the scale, so that is something which is a major part of our assessment and evaluation, that it is wholly based on the play assessment. So that is the time when we also realize that it's not just the language, not necessary that the child should speak, but the non-verbal, the gestures part, or some kind of social skills, when we feel that it is not there, that is the time when we really need a speech therapist to come into picture, and assess the child. And so I know like how it goes, but can you just tell us exactly what is the role and what does a speech language pathologist does exactly?
Yeah, so a speech language pathologist is basically somebody who assesses, diagnose, and gives therapy, speech and language therapy for anybody who has got a communication disorder. Now, when I say communication disorder, it's a very broad area and there are a lot of roles to it. So basically, we are an allied health group who deals with people who have communication disorders. That is like the briefest definition I can give you.
Great. All right.
Yeah.
So, like, how do you carry out your sessions normally? Is there a protocol, or like, how do you go about it?
Yes, we do have a protocol. You start off with an evaluation procedure. So the evaluation starts off with a history. You need to have a detailed history on how the child is at home, how is the communication pattern of the child. Even before that, you need to know the birth history of the child. Was there any trauma during birth, the prenatal, postnatal, perinatal, the entire developmental history there. And after born till we observe the child, how was the growth pattern, how was the motor milestones, how was the was there a delay in either of the family sides, things like that will form the history. Yeah, correct. So after the history, we move on to you will have a vague idea of what and at least an experienced speech language pathologist will have a vague idea of what the diagnosis might be even before you start running the test. So tests here are nothing invasive. Mostly there are just a couple of questionnaires where you ask the parent, does your child do this, does your child show this, have you seen your child doing this? So you just tick and you reach a conclusion. And also it is very important that you observe the child. Don't ever rely on whatever the parents say alone, because there is another part which only a speech therapist might be able to assess. So you observe the child, leave him, and and then you reach your conclusion, you reach your diagnosis. Once you have your diagnosis, the most important part is communicating it to the parent, what the diagnosis, what are the expectations you have, you should have from this diagnosis. Is it something which is long lasting, you will have to take a lot of sessions, or is it something, a minor deficit which can be corrected in a couple of sessions? So that communication should be transparent there. After that, you start off with the therapy plan. So you decide, again asking about the financial status of the parents, and bringing a child for therapy requires investment of time, investment of money, investment of human resource. A person should be available for a couple of hours. So taking all of this into consideration. And
am I audible to you guys now? Yeah. Hi. Sorry for the connectivity issue. Audible now? Yeah, I can hear you perfectly.
Yeah. Okay. I can see you.
So sorry for the break. Yeah.
I know. So okay. So where were we?
You were telling us about your assessment.
Yeah, I got it. So once we have decided on the diagnosis and the diagnosis is communicated to the parents, we start off with something called pre-therapy session. It is called pre-therapy session because you don't work on your goals. You simply observe the child. You leave the child for some free play and you observe the child. What are his strengths? What are his weaknesses? And by the end of the pre-therapy session, you decide on your goals. Once your goals are decided, you carry on with your goals for a particular period of time. You set your goals for like 1 month or 2 months. And again, there is this communication towards your parent. You tell them that this is expected by the end of this month. And again, you ask them, so are you happy with the goals? Is this the way you want to work with us? That sort of communication happens. So that is how generally it progresses.
Very well explained, Swati. So, so picking up the early signs is something which we look for. Like the growing ears are, the best ones to work upon. So, can you tell us a few early signs which the parent can, look forward to, and also a few communication disorders, common communication disorders, if you can elaborate a bit.
Yeah. So communication disorders, there are two types of communication disorders. Either a communication disorder can exist all alone. It is just a communication disorder you have there, like an expressive language delay. So you have a 3-year-old child. The child understands everything for his age. So the mother is like, he knows this, he knows that, but he doesn't speak in sentences. He's 3 years and he still picks up only few words. So that is called an expressive language delay, where there is absolutely no problem in any other domains, just the language is affected. So in that case, a speech language pathologist is the only person to intervene. You needn't send him to, another, there is no need of a team there. And there are other communication disorders, like maybe something called speech sound disorder, where the clarity is an issue. Like when
Right.
a 1.5-year-old says like maybe tutti for cookie, it is okay. It is quite acceptable during that age. But when a 5-year-old says or 7-year-old says tutti for cookie, that is a problem. So it's called speech sound disorder. Again, mostly here you only need an SLP. Then you have fluency disorders where there is stammering, when kids tend to stammer during the process of language development. Here also only an SLP would need to intervene. But there are a lot of other
Right.
communication disorders where there is a underlying cause for the communication disorder, like autism spectrum disorder, or maybe attention deficit hyperactive disorder, cerebral palsy, intellectual disability. And in all these places, children with attention deficit disorder and all, they just walk into the room, and the parents, they are not aware of, somebody like an occupational therapist, or, there is a separate department like occupational therapist. They don't know. So they just walk into us, and, child will be so hyper, and with very little attention, they would be jumping up and down, and, they wouldn't want to sit there, and that readiness for attending speech therapy wouldn't be there. But gradually,
Correct.
so these are all called pre-linguistic skills: the attention, the eye contact, the name call response, the complaints to attend to therapy. All these are called pre-linguistic skills. So then
Correct.
we send them back to an OT. We say, see, there is somebody called an occupational therapist who would work for us, work on this, and you go attend that and come back to us. This is going to be an easy way for both of us. We will reach the destination soon. So there,
Correct.
this language thing is like, it is just the top of the ladder. So there are, small steps like this, which will make it easy for us to reach the top of the ladder. So I think
Correct.
yeah.
Yeah, so as you like, the base is what, the attention part, the gestures part, right?
Yeah,
so
yeah.
until and unless the base of the pyramid is strong, you can't reach it, as you explained that the language is at the top of the ladder, right? So yeah, so this pre-linguistic skills you were talking about, so as you said, the child should attend the OT session first. So I would just want to brief a little bit more about what can be the issues. Why does the child need, so normally in front of for the parents also, the important thing is my child is not speaking, right? So communication is something which is very visible for the child, but they don't really know that what are the underlying issues. And so certain times that sensory imbalance, because of which there is no self-awareness. Okay, regulation, self-regulation is not there, and there is motivation which is lacking. Okay, because of this reason, the child might not process certain information and integrate to give a proper response. Okay, so emotional intelligence, I would like to mention here, is something where it is the ability to understand your inner emotions, your thoughts, and also of the other person. Okay, so which actually helps you and aids you for a two-way communication, right? So understanding this inner ability, like how do you feel from inside, is something which we call as the interoception. Okay, so interoception is the eighth sensory system, not much talked about and not much known by the common public, but it is the whole and soul of our functioning. Because so let me explain what interoception is. It is the inner ability, sensations like hunger, thirst, bathroom needs, heart rate, and most importantly the emotional regulation. So a lot of physical and emotional regulation is it based on interoception, and which helps us develop our social skills, problem solving skills, right? So we need to detect where, in which area the child is lacking, and to do the work upon it with proven strategies. The sensory integration is something where when you said that the child needs OT session to calm down a bit and attend the speech therapy session, the child needs a lot of movement sense, a lot of joint sense. Okay, so basically a lot of sensory integration which an OT session which happens. So also we have brought the child to a level, right, where
Correct,
he is
correct.
alert and attentive. So working on the pre-linguistic skills, and now the child is ready to learn something new. So this is the time even we need a speech language therapist to work upon the child, and that is very, very important, for the child's betterment. So maybe if a OT and speech session happens together, or in so job working as a team, what would you say on this, Swati?
Yeah, actually, parents who have attended occupational therapy for quite some time, they, whoever the person who is putting the timetable, in a clinical setup, they go and ask, please give our OT session first, and, then the speech session, because, the children turn sober with, there is so much physical movement and fun activities involved in occupational therapy. They, they completely enjoy it, and with that readiness, they come towards speech. So even parents understand that, after a couple of sessions having, started taking both of these together. Yeah, that's very true. And I completely agree with that.
Right. So also, Swati, can you mention about a few early symptoms or early signs the parents can look forward to, to detect this?
Yeah, so the milestones which I had mentioned earlier, so it is very simple for everybody. I think everybody should be aware of the milestones. It is, so simple. At the age of 1 year, 1 word. At the age of 2 year, 2 word combination. At the age of 3 year, 3 word combination. It's as simple as that.
Okay, great.
So this thing should be there in your mind. And if your child is 1 year and 6 months and your child hasn't said the one word, there is nothing to be worried about. You needn't, run to a SLP immediately. But this basic knowledge should be there. There should be a significant delay. Your child is 2 and still hasn't uttered the first word. Yes, that is a significant delay. So any delay, significant delay in the developmental milestones can be considered as a warning sign 1. Another is, certain deviant features which you notice, which you generally don't see in other kids, maybe staring to a vacant place for, a long time, or, very fidgeting movements, which, which is, is sort of an obstacle for their, communication skills. They are not asking for their needs. They need to be fed every time. They don't come and ask for this, things like that, withdrawing and settling towards their own life, their own world, not connecting to even family members, stranger anxiety, which is there, prolonged for a very long time. Little stranger anxiety every child might have. I'm not talking about that. Things which are totally deviant from the normal pattern. A mother or anybody who has seen a couple of kids can easily pick them up. So these are the early signs which you generally come across.
Correct. Okay. Very well explained. So, because of this current lockdown situation and the social conditions being disrupted, so can you tell us what is the impact of this scenario on the social skills and the development of the child?
Yeah, this is something very new to all of us, right? We never expected this of something of this sort to happen, when during these times. So there haven't been much studies on how things would turn up, but still, from whatever little knowledge we have, kids who are 4 and up, or 5 and up, who have already attended a play school, or have already attended meaning junior kindergarten, or who have a good circle of kids in the residential area, or a good circle of cousins around and all, now they already have these things in their mind. They have socialized. They know, there is a friendship circle out there. So those are the luckier generation who have moved on. But kids who are like from the two must be too young, maybe 3 to 4 years, who the parents who had plans to send their child to a play school, or junior kindergarten, or whatever it is, now they are the ones who are slightly lacking. It's not a big deal, it's not that these are things which you never would achieve again. Definitely you would, but those are the children who are going to be slightly affected because of this lack of socialization thing.
Correct.
Yeah,
exactly. So is there definitely, as you explained, there is a need and there is the impact of this crisis on kids and the language development. So are there some strategies the parents can do, or like how to work upon and utilize this lockdown period and not just keep on doing so? Yeah.
Definitely. There are, anyway, you are inside your home, and everybody listening to this, please stay safe inside your home. Socialization, you can achieve socialization even, sitting inside your home. So the thing is like, play dates, generally play dates which you have, you call upon your friend for a day, you have a theme, they'll, work on something together. You can start having virtual play dates. You have like a lot of
Okay.
platforms, online platforms now, like Zoom or whatever it is. Even a WhatsApp call would do. Virtual kids, puppet show or storytelling or whatever across the digital platform. Virtual playdates is something which I can think about right now. And group calls, generally I think now most of, since all of us are having a lot of spare time, this group call thing is in the trend now. Batchmates are calling, old colleagues are calling, extended family is having group calls. So see that kids are also a part of it. Make group calls
Right.
when the kids are awake and active and happy. They should feel that,
Right.
that I have a whole lot of friends and family around there. It is just not me, papa, mama inside this home. So make that a habit.
Hmm.
And also maybe WhatsApp, for slightly older kids, we have WhatsApp groups. We have our kids, meaning WhatsApp groups with colleagues, WhatsApp group with friends and all.
Right.
So
Right.
make a small WhatsApp group with your kid and the immediate friends, circle,
Hmm.
cousins, that circle. And maybe every day morning after breakfast or like before dinner, give the phone to them with that WhatsApp group on. So let them have a chat if they are ready, ready to type and things like that. Or they
Hmm.
can send audio recordings, or they can decide on
Correct.
something and sing songs and make it fun and creative for them. So yeah, things like this
Right.
can be
Right.
done
Correct. But
yeah.
Swati, don't you think I know we are in the era of like we are in the digital world, and there is no escape of escaping the screen as such.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
these strategies, so the parents might wonder like, won't it add on to the screen time or the exposure to the screens by the kids?
yeah.
So how do you explain that?
Yeah, I think at least maybe a 6 months back, we were like, no screen, no screen, no screen for kids. Don't
Hmm.
watch TV, go. But from that, we have come to, yeah, come and sit for the class, look at the screen. So, none
Right.
of us thought things would change like this. But there are two types of screen time, there is active screen time and there is this passive screen time. Basically, active interaction and passive interaction. So if you are
Okay.
playing a game or if you are using an app where there is only one-way communication between you and the gadget, there it is called a passive interaction. It becomes an active interaction when you have a communication partner on the other side. Okay. So,
Perfect. Right.
so if your child is engaging in active interaction with the screen, it is not much of a trouble as long as there is communication and socialization happening. But the
Hmm.
passive interaction is the one that you should be, looking for,
Worried about.
cutting
Yeah.
short. Yeah, worried about.
Right,
Exactly.
right,
Yeah.
right. Okay, so as you suggested, the voice calls and also these are something which are not you're really exposing you to the screen, right? You're just
Yeah.
talking or making a phone call, very easy and doable things, right? So
Yeah.
as you
Yeah.
said, theme-based activity and
Yeah.
something which we do like in groups. So there is
Yeah.
a question, I guess, someone has asked that how much role does an OT have in working on communication? Okay, so normally the need of communication is there for each and every person, right? So expressing your needs is the
Yeah.
basic thing which the child might lack. Okay, if
Yeah.
it is a toddler or something. So if we have a lot of role in terms of the sensory systems, because until, as I explained, there is no regulation, there is no self regulation and awareness, you are not able to process certain things which are being told to you, or you have to react in a particular way, right?
Yeah.
So working on that, and later on we also incorporate the kids into group where
Yeah.
a lot of social skills are developing, right? We do role playing, we give them situation based activities, and social stories, problem solving comes in that. So Swati, as we have come up with this demonstration thing, so let's show the audience a few activities which
Yeah.
as OT and speech together they can do
Yes.
at home
Yes.
and doesn't
Yes.
require much things, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So so the first thing where an OT and speech together and using,
Yeah.
I have these pom pom balls with me. So this is a sensory
Yeah.
bin which I've made. Okay, it gives a lot of tactile input. Okay, and
Yeah.
as Swati suggested me, I've put in some chits inside this.
Yeah.
Okay, so let me
Yeah.
find out one. So can you just tell Swati what exactly is to be done by the kids over here?
Yeah.
So
So
I've got
the
one.
sensory bin. Yeah, okay. Now Disha has got a chit. Now sensory bin is
Yeah.
so much fun for a child because they put their hands inside, and even we, like, there are adults who still like to do bubble wrap, and
Right.
we love the change in senses. So kids usually like sensory bin. So they put their hand inside and they have picked up a chit. Now what is inside the chit, Disha?
So I got the name saying Anjali. Okay.
Okay, so
So
Disha has got, now Disha can call Anjali today. So basically, you are giving your child a choice. See, today you can call your friend, but which friend are you going to call? Let us choose this by this fun activity. So you have
right.
chits of a lot of friends, like you have 3 friends' name. Now all the friends' name are inside the sensory bin. You pick up one,
Correct.
and that is a friend we are going to call. This is one excellent
Right.
way where you can call.
Yeah.
Yeah,
We are facing a lot of trouble.
trouble. I
Sorry
don't
to
know.
be. Oops, I'm sorry. Yeah. So where were you?
Yeah.
You were explaining about calling up the friends, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
We can
Swati
hear
can
you,
be
Disha.
seen now.
Can't see Swati. Can be seen
Yeah.
now?
I can
Is it?
see you.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
can see you and hear you as well. Yeah,
Okay.
so sorry. I don't know. But it is showing full and Wi-Fi. I don't know what is going wrong.
No worries. Let's
Yeah.
continue.
So that is with the sensory bin.
Yeah, so as you said, we can call up our friends or relatives. So, here the child has to also think the relationship with that person, whichever name has come in the chit, and plus the sensory bin. This will give a lot of tactile input. So it is not
Yeah.
necessary that you use only the pom pom balls. This is what I've
Yeah.
got. Okay, the kids, the parents can come up with creative ideas. They can just use a tray, all right, and put rice, or they can just put some grains and hide the chits inside. Okay.
Yeah. Also, it
So,
needn't be friend's name. You can come up with breakfast items. You can come up with snacks. So the parent can say, you pick up a chit and we are going to make that breakfast tomorrow. So it is going to be so fun for the child, to decide your
amazing.
food like that.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
So let's move on. Now, this one I have arranged for you, Swati. I'm going to show you a few objects
Yeah.
which I have kept. Okay.
Okay.
And I want
Yeah.
you to make a sentence or a story
Okay.
out of that.
Okay.
All
Okay.
right.
Yeah. Yeah.
So these are the objects which I have.
Okay. A girl, there is a red car, and there are 3 animals.
Yes, I hope this is visible to everyone.
Yeah, it is.
So
Yeah.
I can just put it close by. Yeah. So what can you form? What story can you form from this?
Yeah, a girl got into her red car and she is going on a ride to the zoo. And in the zoo,
Excellent.
she has seen so and so and so.
Excellent. So can you add on?
Yeah.
Can you just increase, like add 2-3 more sentences to make it a story form? Maybe about the
definitely.
zoo, what the lion is doing, or
Yeah, so it can be done. It can be anything. That's so the lion rode, and the girl was scared. So how the mother consoled her, and when she, what are the other animals?
you see, it's a lion, cheetah, and a zebra.
Yeah. Yeah, so you can have conversation between the lion and the cheetah, the lion and cheetah are friends, and you can keep on adding things and make language building like this.
Correct. Okay.
Yeah.
Perfect. Let me give you one more example so the viewers
Yeah.
can get an idea and even they can try stuff. Let me just arrange the cards. Okay. So I have these flashcards with me. Okay. And I have a few more. So what can you say about this?
Disha, it's not clear for me, but I think the rest of them can see. Can you just tell me
Now,
what the images are?
Now is it proper? So there is this lady, there is a vegetable vendor, and there are few vegetables, potato, brinjal, tomato, and there is a chef over here.
Yeah. Okay. Super. So
Yeah.
you just present these pictures to your child and you leave it to the imagination. So the lady was hungry. So the lady decided to go to a vegetable vendor, and she decided to make sambar, and she found those vegetables, and you name each of the vegetable, and you come back. Now the lady herself feel that she should cook it. Now she has turned into a chef. The options are never ending. You can make
Unlimited,
anything and
right.
everything. Yeah.
Correct. So this way a lot of social stories can be made, right?
Yeah,
Common
yeah.
objects, whatever you all have, a lot of toys kids have. So just mix match, and
Yeah.
the same thing can be done on group calling. As you suggested, a theme can be kept where one chance is given to each, and in rotations,
Yeah.
everyone shows their different toys. So need not necessary that you should have each and everything. So just the way I showed one, that's another person or you may be showing me. So that can be a two-way communication for the kids, right? And we are working on story building, and in a way we're working on social skills, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. So the next one is about the letter thing. Okay.
Yeah,
So normally
correct.
I use this activity for giving a lot of movement to the kids. So Swati will explain us how this can be beneficial for language and communication skills development. Okay, so here basically different alphabets are written. Okay, starting from A, I'm just showing you part. So one is M, where it is written do 3 somersaults. If you all can read, is it visible? Okay.
Yeah.
So N. Yeah, so different types of physical activities where N says pick up a ball without using your hands. So I can post this picture later on, but Swati, go ahead.
Yeah. So let us imagine a scenario where your child is sad or extremely cranky for something or the other. So you ask the child, what is wrong? So, always ask them to label their own emotions. So the child comes up, I am sad. So we don't know what exactly you yourself are thinking. So what am I supposed to do? Should I, leave him for just 5 minutes, or you can do something, as good as this. So it is basically the child has said the child is sad. Now we are breaking sad into S, A, and D. Okay. Now Disha's card.
I can see Swati moving.
Yeah.
Swati, can you see me?
Yeah, I can.
All right.
You were blurred, but now you're good.
Okay, fine. Yeah.
Yeah. So, so the child has said sad, and we are breaking it into S, A, and D, and we are looking at the physical activity of S. So S says you jump 5 times. So you ask the child, let's jump 5 times. Let's do it together. Now A says run around the dining table or whatever it is. So the child goes and run around the dining table. So D says, a frog jump. So there is a frog jump. So the child has labeled the emotion, child has learned to emotionally regulate, and there is a lot of physical activity. And so by the end of the 10 minutes, the sadness is also gone, but the child has realized, the child is sad. Yeah, that's how we work.
Yeah. So the name of this game, what I had kept is what's your name? Okay. So very interesting to make different spellings. Okay. But here we are working on mindfulness, labeling the emotions, emotional intelligence, and this is easy way to channelize their emotional irregulation or imbalance, right?
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah.
And one last thing, which okay, so I have this object with me. Okay, everyone knows this is a helicopter. So this activity can again be played in group, right? So we normally do this at different objects, and in rotation describes the objects and its qualities in different ways. Okay, not repeating the same thing. So let's just do it once. Swati, how can you describe this?
Yeah. So we have a vehicle. 1, it is green in color. 2,
okay, my turn. My turn. Okay, but please wait. Okay, so green, so color. So one is categorizing them into vehicles, right? Then it is color wise. Okay. I would say it has the fan over which, over it, there is a fan which helps it to fly.
Yeah. So it travels in the air.
Okay. And it has cartoons. It has cartoons on it. Ben 10 is written over there.
Okay.
And let's do 1 or 2 more. That's it.
Yeah. So that's the way it goes. You want more?
Right. No, that's okay. Yeah, so
Okay.
basically, we are asking the children, right, to categorize them into different things. We are stimulating their thinking process and, the language development. What would you say, Swati?
For language development, you are building sentence. You are giving physical attributes for each adjectives, the way you
Right.
add meaning to a sentence. So that is the major
Right.
goal that you can work on, describing things like this.
Correct. And pragmatics, right? The grammar part, like making the sentences and thinking, basically improving your observation skills as well, right?
Yeah, true. Yeah, true.
Okay. So that's it. We can come up with lots of such ideas, but this is just something for the parents and the viewers to know that, how OT and speech can work together, and it is definitely just for the benefit of the child, right? It is for the functional growth of each and every kid.
Exactly.
Okay. So, Swati, can you tell us about, like how would you end this by giving importance to socializing and
actually, especially during this time of lockdown, most of the parents who have their kids going to the kindergarten or going to the play school, who are supposed to go to the kindergarten, start off the schooling, so they are feeling sad that they're missing on a lot of things. But please keep it in your mind that they are not missing on the academics. Sooner or later, they will learn to read, they will learn to write. That is not the issue there. But the concern should be on the socialization that they are missing. This is the age they are supposed to make friends. This is the age they are supposed to hate people in the school. That is also a part of it. They go to school, an incident happened, they come back, they narrate it to us. They learn to reject, they learn to deny. All these things as a person, their evolution, they're evolving right from here. So parents who are watching it, don't be about the academics that your child is going to miss, and don't buy notebooks and make them write if at all you're doing right now. More concern should be in play and socializing, because that is so important.
Correct. So as you explained, the pre-linguistic skills, the pre-writing skills, right? And since the younger ones, the toddlers, don't really have much hours of schooling, and as you suggested, the group video calls and things. So I want the parents to, just take out 15-20 minutes in the morning, or make it a routine, and along with the physical activities, along with play, just incorporate these social skills. In long term, it is definitely going to help you build your life skills and communicate and present yourself in front of the world, right?
True.
So that is what we would say. Okay, let me just check if we have any questions in our...
Please.
Yeah, I think one we answered. No, the audience, do you all have any queries? If at all, I don't think there are. Okay, you all can reach us out later as well. We will be we will be glad to answer to all your queries. And please like and follow our pages, the OT Clinic and Swathee Elamon, right? Okay, Swati. So thanks a lot for coming for this live, and it was a great fun to do the activities.
I had a wonderful time talking with you.
Same here. We apologize for that. Okay, seriously. Then yes, let's look forward for some more such lives and come up with different ideas. Okay.
Thank you so much, Disha.
My pleasure.
Yeah.
Bye, Swati.
Bye.